1,655 miles. So it's been a year since I got this bike. I've done an oil service on it since I got it, or oil and filter service. So despite only doing 1,650 miles roughly this year, thanks to COVID, I only managed to get my CBT done on the 20th of August. So I've clocked up as many miles as I could between the 20th of August and maybe the start of December. So it's -4 currently outside just now here in Scotland, or here in Blantyre. So I'm doing a little oil service. I've got this oil again, and the KN141 filter, which is for this model. It's an MT125 ABS model. Got this cover off here. But the problem I found last time was the sump plug, which you can just see in the middle of the screen, is blocked by the exhaust, thanks to aftermarket exhaust. I've watched a couple of videos on YouTube and nobody had this issue, so it looks like I'm going to have to loosen off the 2 bolts on the manifold and loosen off this clamp, and I'll hopefully get the front pipe off without taking all the back off, because this is a whole pain in the arse, this, and the spring clamps and all this. So wish me luck. There we go, got the down pipe off, just the 2 nuts that screw on here, and just loosened this back, this hex here on the clamp. So now I can see the sump plug at long last. So that was quite straightforward. Here we go, folks, got the sump plug off. Slight problem, the hex on the plug just started tearing up on me. It's a 19mm hex, so I tried a couple of different sockets, tried even a spanner, just kept slipping. So thankfully there's these little 4 lug nuts, or lug points. So if you get this problem where you can't get the ratchet or socket or spanner or whatever to loosen it, get a big screwdriver and a hammer and just tap these lugs, just gently, and it will slowly start to turn. Then you can get the hex on it and it will spin off, no bother. So I've actually waited a week now for a new one of these. This is a week on from the start of the video. I've still not got it yet, so I've decided to just go ahead. I'll just tighten it back up the same way I got it off with the lug nuts, just by tapping it, and that'll get me riding again. Fingers crossed. So I've just got the filter to take off now. Which I'm in the process of doing. I've got these 2, whoops, 2 bolts out, one from here, one from here, and the one that's left here is a big long one. There's the filter. You can see in comparison the length of that bolt compared to the two short ones. So the big long one comes out of here, which is your bottom right one. So I shall crack on. There we go, and that's that all buttoned back up again. I just tightened these up. It's an 8mm hex. Just tightened them up by hand. Then I gave them a little final nip up with a ratchet. Not too tight. I never checked the torque setting on them. But if you don't know what you're doing, I would advise that you get a torque wrench and do it that way. So I'm just going to run it quickly, then I'll check the dipstick again. Oops. Forgot I've not put the downpipe back on. So have you ever wondered what an MT125 sounded like without an exhaust? Not very pleasant. Now that sounds a good bit better. Just get the lower right hand panel of the belly pan to put back on. Then I'm going to attack the chain. It's a bit grubby and rusty looking, so time to get cleaning on that. Well, that's all the chain all cleaned and lubed up. I still don't have paddock stands, or a paddock stand for the back. So I clean a bit, roll it along, clean a bit, roll it along, and I do the same when I'm lubing it back up again. I just use a Hypoid gear oil, which I brush on lightly. So all good to go. I've got my Oxford heated grips on. Which supposedly turn off themselves, but I'll just turn them off. I've also fitted this a while back. It's just a mobile phone holder, so I can watch where I'm going on maps and stuff. This was a great buy. Little Q bag, which just fits the MT125 perfect. And there's plenty of room in there. Can of cherry coke, crushed packet of cigarettes, tripod, microfiber. I think I've got my bearing gloves in there as well. Little lock for my helmet if ever required. Pair of rubber gloves. So that saves your pockets when all crammed up. I think that was about £22 from Sports Bike Shop. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I might even get out today.